My, how the tides have turned. Builders are sitting on a ton of inventory right now, and they're going into full panic mode. Hello everyone, this is Chris Morton, real estate broker with eXp Realty in Raleigh, North Carolina. And builders are starting to panic. Every day, our email box has been absolutely flooded with builders wanting to let us know about their latest deals and their latest inventory availabilities. They're starting to see homes sit on the market with very few or no interested buyers out there. And because of all this, these builders are getting pretty desperate. The best part of all this is a lot of these builders that have been emailing us are the ones that ignored us last year or the year before. So what exactly is happening? Well, we're starting to see a surplus of homes come on the market. Many homes that should have sold when they were dirt or in the foundation stage at the very least, are now getting almost completed, or in some cases, getting completely done and ready to move into. This is causing some builders to offer incentives, and some are even offering price reductions, if you can believe that, on their existing inventory. So why is all this happening? Well, the main culprit is rising interest rates. Fewer buyers are able to afford the current interest rates they would have to pay on a mortgage today. Less buyers means less demand, which means more supply. The second reason is some builders, and not all, but some builders have treated buyers and their buyers' agents like absolute trash over the past 2 years. They went in with the attitude of let's make a quick buck and we'll worry about what's going to happen in a future downturn when it happens. They didn't expect that a slowdown would happen quite so quickly, and now they're having to pay the price. Fewer buyers are coming to them because those buyers are looking online, seeing these builders' horrible online reviews and seeing their badly damaged reputations. And so these buyers are simply moving on to other builders that didn't treat everybody so bad back a couple years ago. So instead of having to deal with delays and waiting 3 months, 6 months, a year or longer to move into your new home, lots of people are turning back to resale homes where they can get in 30 days or less. The thing is, just a few months ago, it was incredibly difficult to get a resale home. You were competing against many buyers, and lots of times you missed out even by putting down tremendous down payments and going way over asking price. So naturally, people focused on new construction homes a good bit of the time. It was easier to get into a contract on a new construction home, didn't have to deal with quite so much competition, and the process itself was relatively easy, especially considering you're throwing in the heartache of missing out on your dream resale home. Now we're seeing a lot of people move back into focus on that resale market. Why? Well, many reasons. Number one, there's not as many buyers out there, so therefore it's easier to get a resale home. Secondly, again, as we said, buyers were frustrated with the long drawn out process of buying a new construction home, and a lot of the new construction homes are in areas that are a little bit further out from the city centers, whereas resale homes you can buy in town, in the town of your choice, and not have to settle for a long commute time, which of course makes a big difference, especially during this period where we have relatively high gas prices. So what mistakes are some builders still making? Well, some builders still think it's 2020, 2021, where there's hundreds and hundreds of buyers out there for their homes, and they're still behaving as if that's the case. We're still seeing some builder representatives take forever to get back to us when we have an interested buyer that has questions about some of their upcoming inventory. Some builders still have a take it or leave it attitude when it comes to what they're building. They are not willing to work at all with buyers. They say, you gotta buy what we're making, what we're building, and if you don't like it, head on down the road. Back last year when there was a lot of demand, they could get away with this attitude. Now, not so much. And unfortunately, it's still the norm that some builders are forcing their buyers to sign some pretty one-sided builder sale contracts. So it's been a trend lately that builders have had buyers sign contracts to build them a home that were somewhat one-sided. They basically said, here's the price we're going to sell you the home at, but it may not necessarily be the final price. And builders had the luxury and the ability to go back to the buyer and say, hey, you owe us more money. It cost us more to build the house. than we expected. Naturally, this shocked a lot of buyers, scared off a lot of buyers, and the builder had the ability to turn right around and resell that home at a higher price. Now, some of this you have to chalk up to supply chain issues and labor costs, but to be sure, we know a lot of these builders, should the price of materials go down, should the price of labor go down, we know a lot of these builders are probably not going to rebate this money back to their buyers. So buyer beware on some of these builders. And while not all builders are behaving this way, enough are that a lot of buyers, as we said, have moved back to resale homes to find their next home, or are doing a little bit more due diligence and looking for some of the better builders out there. So how can you benefit? Well, if you've been in the market to buy a home in the last 2 years, it's for certain that you have put up with a lot of aggravation when it comes to dealing with builders. I can't stress enough how amazing this housing market is for home buyers. If you are able to buy right now, this may be the ideal time to go under contract for a new construction home. With supply increasing, many builders are going back to the way they behaved in the 2017 to 2019 period, when supply and demand was pretty even, and it gave buyers a pretty fair shot at getting the home of their dreams. Again, this means buyers can now get some incentives, some concessions, and possibly even see some price reductions. Plus, in many situations, you now don't have to rely solely on a floor plan and going to see a piece of dirt to pick out your home. With supply increasing, it's very likely that you can go walk into the home of your dreams that may be under construction, and you can see it with the walls up, or maybe even possibly completely finished. So you don't have to wait those 3 months, a year, or even longer to get your home finished. They may already be done right now. Plus, we may even be getting back to the point where buyers are able to pick out their floor and their tile and their countertops and all of that sort of thing, versus just having to deal with whatever the builder selected to put in that house. So what does all this mean for the future? Well, 2021 was an absolute perfect storm of low interest rates, supply chain issues, and labor shortages, which drove prices up and up and up, and very motivated buyers who were able to work anywhere, and they selected towns that they could go to for a higher quality of life, like here in the Raleigh area. All this caused demand and prices to skyrocket. Our hope is that the craziness of 2021 is over and done with. So what will the future hold? Well, expect it to become much easier to deal with buying a new construction home in the future. Expect to be treated with respect and not have to rush to make a decision on buying that new home. Expect to not to have to compete with 5 or 10 other buyers to get your new home. And overall, expect to have a much more pleasurable new home buying experience. Now, we need to stress that we are not calling out all builders here on this video, just the ones that have behaved badly and treated buyers and their agents with a lot of disrespect over the past few years. There's been some great builders that should be applauded for doing the right thing all along. And so if you need help finding a great builder to build you your next home, you can email or call us. Our links are in the description below. Check out this video. You think you're gonna really like it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.